Montana, a constituent state of the United States, located in the northern part of the country. It borders the Canadian provinces of British Columbia, Alberta, and Saskatchewan to the north, and the U.S. states of North Dakota and South Dakota to the east, Wyoming to the south, and Idaho to the west. Montana's landscape is divided into two main regions, the Rocky Mountains in the western 2/5 and the Great Plains in the eastern 3/5. The state's population is small, sparse, and unevenly distributed, with slightly more than half residing in urban areas. Montana's geography is defined by the Rocky Mountains in the western 2/5 of the state and the Great Plains in the eastern 3/5. This contrast is a prominent geographic feature, with high mountains, deep valleys, and forests in the west, versus vast rangeland and grain fields in the east. The state is unique as waters flow to Hudson Bay, the Gulf of Mexico, and the Pacific Ocean. The Continental Divide runs through Montana, separating the eastward and westward flowing drainage. The state has varied climates based on elevation, from semi-arid plains to cooler, wetter mountainous zones. Montana's lowest elevation is 1,820 feet, 555 meters, above sea level, while its highest is Granite Peak at 12,799 feet, 3,901 meters. Montana is one of the most distinctive and geographically impressive states in the United States. Located in the northwestern region of the country, it is known for its vast open spaces, rugged mountain ranges, expansive plains, abundant wildlife, and rich cultural heritage. Often referred to as Big Sky Country, Montana captures the imagination through its breathtaking landscapes and enduring connection to the history of the American West. Covering more than 147,000 square miles, it is the fourth largest state in the nation by area, yet it remains one of the least densely populated. This combination of immense space and relatively small population has shaped Montana's identity, economy, and way of life for generations. Montana is a landlocked state in the Mountain West subregion of the western United States. It is bordered by Idaho to the west, North Dakota to the east, South Dakota to the southeast, Wyoming to the south, and the Canadian provinces of Alberta, British Columbia, and Saskatchewan to the north. It is the fourth largest state by area, but the eighth least populous state and the third least densely populated state. Its capital is Helena, while the most populous city is Billings. The western half of the state contains numerous mountain ranges, particularly the Rocky Mountains, while the eastern half is characterized by western prairie terrain and badlands, with smaller mountain ranges found throughout the state. Most of Montana came under American sovereignty with the Louisiana Purchase from France in 1803 and was explored by the Lewis and Clark expedition shortly thereafter. Fur trappers followed and were the main economic activity in the area until gold was discovered in 1858. The ensuing gold rush, along with the passage of the Homestead Acts in 1862, brought large numbers of American settlers to Montana. Rapid population growth and development culminated in statehood on November 8, 1889. Mining, particularly around Butte and Helena, would remain the state's main economic engine through the mid-20th century. Montana has no official nickname but several unofficial ones, most notably Big Sky Country, the Treasure State, Land of the Shining Mountains, and the Last Best Place. Its economy is primarily based on agriculture, including ranching and cereal grain farming. Other significant economic resources include oil, gas, coal, mining, and lumber. The healthcare, service, defense, and government sectors are also significant to the state's economy. Montana's fastest growing sector is tourism, with 12.6 million tourists visiting the state each year as of 2019. In 2024 the number reached 13.7 million, the highest ever. Montana shares international borders with the Canadian provinces of Alberta, British Columbia, and Saskatchewan to the north. Within the United States, it borders Idaho to the west, Wyoming to the south and north, and South Dakota to the east. Its strategic location has historically influenced trade, migration, transportation, and cultural exchange. The state's geography includes dramatic contrasts, from the towering peaks of the Rocky Mountains in the west to the rolling prairies and grasslands that stretch across the eastern regions. These diverse landscapes have supported different forms of settlement, economic activity, and cultural development throughout Montana's history. The name Montana is derived from the Spanish word montana, meaning mountain. The name is fitting because mountains dominate much of the western portion of the state and contribute significantly to its scenic beauty and environmental diversity. Long before European exploration and settlement, Montana was home to numerous indigenous nations whose histories in the region extend back thousands of years. Tribes such as the Crow, Blackfeet, Salish, Kootenai, Assiniboine, Northern Cheyenne, Gros-Ventre, and others developed sophisticated societies and cultural traditions closely tied to the land. These indigenous communities established extensive trade networks, maintained complex political systems, and cultivated spiritual relationships with the natural world. The arrival of European explorers and fur traders brought significant changes to the region. During the 18th century, French and British traders traveled through portions of present-day Montana seeking valuable furs. However, large-scale exploration accelerated after the Louisiana Purchase of 1803, when the United States acquired a vast territory from France. One of the most important events in Montana's early history was the Lewis and Clark expedition, which passed through the region between 1805 and 1806. The expedition documented the geography, wildlife, and indigenous cultures of the area while providing valuable information that encouraged further exploration and eventual settlement. Throughout the 19th century, Montana underwent dramatic transformation. The discovery of gold in the early 1860s attracted thousands of prospectors and settlers seeking economic opportunity. Mining camps quickly evolved into thriving towns as people flocked to areas where precious metals were discovered. Settlements such as Bannack and Virginia City became important centers of commerce and government during the gold rush era. The mining industry generated substantial wealth and attracted investors from across the country, but it also created environmental challenges and social tensions associated with rapid population growth and competition for resources. Montana officially became a United States territory in 1864. Territorial status established a framework for governance and encouraged further migration into the region. During this period, agriculture and ranching expanded alongside mining as important economic activities. The fertile valleys and grasslands supported farming and livestock production, while transportation improvements helped connect local producers to national markets. The arrival of railroads transformed Montana's economy by facilitating trade, encouraging settlement, and linking communities that had previously been isolated by distance and difficult terrain. Statehood was achieved on November 8, 1889, when Montana became the 41st state admitted to the Union. By this time, the state had developed a diversified economy based on mining, agriculture, ranching, and transportation. Copper mining became especially important during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. The city of Butte emerged as one of the world's leading copper-producing centers and attracted workers from many different countries. Irish, Italian, Finnish, Chinese, and Eastern European immigrants contributed significantly to the growth of Montana's communities and helped shape the state's multicultural heritage. Montana's geography remains one of its defining characteristics. The western portion of the state is dominated by the Rocky Mountains, which feature rugged peaks, forested slopes, alpine lakes, and deep valleys. The eastern portion consists primarily of plains, grasslands, and badlands. This diversity of terrain supports a wide variety of ecosystems and wildlife species. Grizzly bears, black bears, wolves, elk, deer, moose, mountain lions, bison, and bald eagles inhabit different parts of the state. Rivers originating in Montana contribute to major watersheds across North America, providing water resources that are essential for agriculture, recreation, and ecological health. Among Montana's most celebrated natural attractions are Yellowstone National Park and Glacier National Park. Yellowstone, established in 1872 as the world's first national park, extends into southern Montana and is famous for its geothermal features, wildlife, and scenic landscapes. Glacier National Park, located in the northern Rocky Mountains, is renowned for its spectacular peaks, glaciers, alpine lakes, and biodiversity. Together, these parks attract millions of visitors annually and play vital roles in conservation, tourism, education, and scientific research. The state's cultural identity is deeply connected to its frontier heritage and natural environment. Montana is often associated with images of cowboys, ranches, mountain wilderness, and independent lifestyles. However, its culture is far more complex than these stereotypes suggest. Indigenous traditions continue to influence many aspects of life throughout the state. Powwows, tribal ceremonies, language preservation programs, and cultural festivals celebrate native heritage while strengthening community connections. Tribal colleges, museums, and educational initiatives contribute to public understanding of indigenous history and contemporary experiences. Immigration has also left a lasting imprint on Montana's cultural landscape. During periods of rapid industrial growth, workers arrived from various parts of Europe and Asia, bringing their customs, languages, religions, and traditions. These influences remain visible in local festivals, architecture, cuisine, and community organizations. Historic neighborhoods and cultural institutions preserve the legacy of immigrant communities that helped build Montana's towns and industries. Education has played an essential role in Montana's development. Public schools serve communities across the state, while colleges and universities contribute to research, workforce development, and cultural enrichment. Higher education institutions have become centers for innovation in agriculture, environmental science, engineering, business, healthcare, and technology. These institutions also foster civic engagement and support economic diversification through partnerships with government agencies and private industries. The relationship between Montanans and the natural environment is a central aspect of life in the state. Outdoor recreation is not merely a leisure activity but a significant component of cultural identity and economic activity. Residents and visitors enjoy hiking, fishing, hunting, skiing, camping, rafting, mountain biking, and wildlife viewing. Public lands managed by state and federal agencies provide extensive opportunities for recreation while supporting conservation goals. This close connection to nature has fostered a strong environmental ethic among many communities and organizations. Environmental issues have become increasingly important in recent decades. Montana's history of mining and resource extraction has left environmental legacies that require ongoing management and restoration efforts. Water quality, habitat conservation, forest management, and wildfire prevention are among the issues that receive significant attention from policymakers, scientists, and local communities. Climate change has added new challenges by affecting snowpack levels, water availability, wildfire patterns, and ecosystem dynamics. Agriculture remains one of Montana's most important industries. The state is a leading producer of wheat, barley, lentils, and other crops, while cattle ranching occupies millions of acres of land. Agricultural traditions have shaped rural communities for generations and continue to influence local culture and economic life. Advances in technology and sustainable farming practices have helped producers adapt to changing environmental conditions and global market demands. Mining, although less dominant than during its historic peak, continues to contribute to Montana's economy. Coal, industrial minerals, and other natural resources support employment and economic activity in various regions. At the same time, increasing emphasis has been placed on environmental responsibility and sustainable resource management. Balancing economic benefits with ecological protection remains a central challenge in discussions surrounding natural resource development. Tourism has become one of Montana's most dynamic economic sectors. Visitors are drawn by the state's natural beauty, outdoor recreation opportunities, historic sites, and cultural attractions. Tourism supports a wide range of businesses, including hotels, restaurants, transportation services, retail establishments, and recreational outfitters. The industry generates billions of dollars in economic activity annually and provides employment opportunities across many communities. The state's economy has become increasingly diversified in recent decades. Technology companies, healthcare providers, educational institutions, and renewable energy projects have contributed to economic growth and resilience. Cities such as Bozeman and Missoula have emerged as centers of innovation and entrepreneurship. The growth of remote work has attracted professionals seeking a high quality of life combined with access to outdoor amenities and lower population density than many urban areas. Healthcare has become an increasingly important component of Montana's economy and public infrastructure. Hospitals, clinics, research facilities, and healthcare professionals provide essential services to residents across the state. Rural healthcare remains a particular focus due to the challenges associated with serving widely dispersed populations. Telemedicine and technological innovations have improved access to care in many remote areas. Renewable energy development is gaining importance as Montana seeks to diversify its energy portfolio and reduce environmental impacts. Wind, solar, and hydropower projects have expanded throughout the state, creating jobs and supporting economic growth. Montana's geography provides substantial potential for renewable energy production, making the sector an important component of future development strategies. Government and public institutions play crucial roles in managing Montana's resources and supporting community well-being. The state operates under a constitution adopted in 1972, which emphasizes individual rights, environmental protection, transparency, and citizen participation. The executive, legislative, and judicial branches work together within a framework designed to ensure accountability and effective governance. Local government is particularly important given Montana's large geographic area and relatively small population. Counties, municipalities, and tribal governments provide essential services related to public safety, education, transportation, health, and land management. Collaboration among different levels of government is often necessary to address shared challenges and support regional development. Montana's judicial system has earned recognition for its strong environmental protections. The state constitution explicitly guarantees the right to a clean and healthful environment, making Montana unique among many states. Courts have played important roles in interpreting these protections and balancing environmental concerns with economic development interests. Transportation infrastructure remains essential for connecting communities and supporting economic activity. Highways, railroads, airports, and communication networks facilitate commerce, tourism, agriculture, and public services. Because of Montana's size and geographic diversity, maintaining and modernizing infrastructure requires substantial investment and long-term planning. The relationship between Montana and its tribal nations is a critical aspect of governance and public policy. Tribal governments exercise sovereignty within their reservations and collaborate with state and federal authorities on issues such as education, healthcare, environmental management, and economic development. These partnerships help address shared challenges while respecting tribal rights and cultural traditions. Population growth has become an increasingly important issue in many parts of Montana. New residents are attracted by employment opportunities, natural amenities, and quality of life advantages. While growth has stimulated economic activity, it has also created challenges related to housing affordability, infrastructure capacity, and community character. Policymakers and community leaders continue to explore strategies for managing growth in ways that support both economic prosperity and environmental sustainability. Housing affordability has emerged as a major concern in rapidly growing communities. Rising property values and rental costs have made it more difficult for many residents to secure affordable housing. Local governments, developers, and nonprofit organizations are working to address these challenges through planning initiatives, housing programs, and policy reforms designed to increase housing availability. Montana's future will be shaped by its ability to balance growth, innovation, and conservation. Economic diversification, technological advancement, educational investment, and environmental stewardship will all play important roles in determining the state's long-term trajectory. The preservation of cultural heritage, natural resources, and community values will remain central to Montana's identity as it adapts to changing circumstances. The state's significance extends beyond its borders as a symbol of the American West and a model for balancing development with environmental responsibility. Montana's landscapes, history, and communities continue to inspire people from around the world. Its national parks, wilderness areas, historic sites, and cultural institutions contribute to a broader understanding of American history and environmental conservation. The preservation of Montana's natural and cultural resources reflects a commitment to future generations. Conservation organizations, tribal nations, government agencies, educational institutions, and local communities work together to protect ecosystems, wildlife habitats, historic landmarks, and cultural traditions. These efforts help ensure that Montana's unique character remains intact despite ongoing social, economic, and environmental changes. Community engagement is another defining characteristic of Montana society. Residents actively participate in elections, public meetings, volunteer organizations, and local initiatives. This tradition of civic involvement strengthens democratic institutions and helps ensure that public policies reflect community priorities. Public dialogue and collaboration remain essential tools for addressing challenges and pursuing opportunities throughout the state. The story of Montana is ultimately one of resilience, adaptation, and connection to place. Over centuries, indigenous peoples, explorers, settlers, immigrants, ranchers, miners, educators, entrepreneurs, and conservationists have all contributed to shaping the state's identity. Their experiences reflect broader themes in American history, including westward expansion, economic transformation, cultural diversity, environmental stewardship, and democratic participation. In conclusion, Montana stands as one of the most remarkable states in the United States. Its extraordinary landscapes, rich cultural heritage, diverse economy, and strong sense of community distinguish it from many other regions of the country. From its indigenous roots and frontier history to its modern achievements in education, technology, conservation, and economic development, Montana represents a unique blend of tradition and progress. The state's commitment to preserving its natural beauty, supporting vibrant communities, and embracing innovation provides a strong foundation for future success. As Montana continues to evolve in the 21st century, it remains a place defined by opportunity, resilience, and an enduring connection between people and the land. Its history offers valuable lessons about sustainability, cultural respect, and the importance of balancing growth with preservation. Through its landscapes, institutions, and people, Montana continues to embody the spirit of exploration, independence, and possibility that has long been associated with the American West. Thank you for watching this video.